Hello, everybody. This is Andie, and I prepared a little talk for tonight. I wanted to bring people to the attention that in this amazing time of cycle changing, the seven ray is very, very active, and this is a live recording, and I'd like to say hello to everybody. And I am keeping a commitment that I made to myself, and to get familiar with going out there, putting myself out there, because there is a essence that I'm sensing very deeply. I'm an empath. I am, and I sense things, and I sense fear to the core. Even though I have a very kind and pleasant life, quiet and the way I want it, I sense the collective. And this is very important for me to share that with you guys, because uh, making these videos at night at 9 o'clock that I gave myself a few days ago is very important, because I'm sensing the fear that is happening all over the world. I am safe. I am in Canada. I am in a wonderful city of Quebec, um, and it's changed enormously since the United States election. And I want to pay attention to. I want to let people know that many of us here in Canada are extremely aware of that. But personally, I have an extreme affinity to the U.S. And my children are there, and I'm here. But I'm very safe compared to what they are not today. So I don't know why I'm doing this right now. It's probably because of this constant fear that many of us have been living with. So I want us to understand that there is a leader in the US, Trump, that is not going to change his mind. Nothing is going to change with this way. And one of the reasons that I say that is that if I go to his chart, this man was born with with Jupiter station at 17 degrees in Libra. So that station energy is it's like fixed. It's like I'm not moving, I'm staying there, and it's Jupiter. It's at 17 degree of Libra. Libra, I'm a Libra, birth Libra, but now I'm progressive in in Sagittarius. My progression is, but that 17-degree Libra energy that is being part of his way of being. It's station, and it's Jupiter. And we know that Jupiter is a planet of bigness, wanting to, expand everything, do everything. But for someone like him, it's all for the wrong reason. And he was born at 17 Libra, and in magic, in this energy, this is the head of an initiator that intoxicate. For all intoxication, drink. And that is the degree that he was born with, what emanates in the subconscious of the subconscious of many of us esotericists that goes out there and talks about mysticism. And I am one that very much believe that our antiquities of many, many, many hundreds and thousands of years of human psyche organizations into our ethers is still part of us. We are a spiritual being having a human experience. We are enormously blessed to know that and to participate with that thought in our daily lives. So it's very important to understand that this man was born with that station, Jupiter. No matter what, he set his mind on something. And it doesn't matter if it's going to happen 20 years from that, or then in his mind, whatever he decides he's going to get, he's going to get. And that is he was born that way. But he was born for a time period that has been talked about for centuries. We've been expecting these events at the end of the age of Pisces forever. And unfortunately, and fortunately, we're living with it. So when we're thinking about that Jupiter station in that man's birth chart, even though he's lived and progressively, but he was born with the essence of Erator. Erator is the head initiator for all intoxication drinks and everything else that goes with intoxicating. And what's very interesting is that that is something that he has dispensed in the ether in the United States, or whomever goes into his lair. This energy is that energy that he was born with. He was there to intoxicate enough the circumstances and the situation wherever he's at. So what it says here, as far as Arator, into the degrees, 17 degrees, from the prime origin, he has been teaching man by intuition how to make the most diverse kind of intoxicating drinks, for instance, wine, mead, beer, liquor, etc. It's like a distillery of energy. And my imagination immediately goes at this moment in time where we are in Pisces. And this initiator has been present in our lives for almost a decade now. Very, very central present. He's been there for many decades before, and I've been very aware of him. But in this last decade, he's been there. It's been intoxicating for many, 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 many people. And what's extraordinary, very extraordinary, that he happens to be born on this degree, as far as Jupiter is concerned. So he has proven, as far as my sense of imagination and sensation, is that this is a living degree of that 17 degree intoxication. So it continues to say, however, this head must not be mistaken for the contra genius of the spheres, who controls the notorious drunkards. That is hilarious, okay? All of those people are protected by Erator, who have to do with production and selling of alcoholic drinks and such. In today, this has been written quite a while ago. And when you're looking at this old spheres of energy that continues to perpetuate itself in time and in cycles, very specific in moments. And it happens to be like today is a day where we have 29 degree all over the place. And that 29 degrees is very final, right? It's quite genius. But let's pay attention here, not to be mistaken for the contra genius of the sphere who controls the notorious drunkards. All those people are protected by Eretor, who have to do with the production of selling. The magician may get from his head excellent recipes for the production of beer, wine, or etc. And on top, certain advice on how these dispensaries can be bettered, ameliorated by various methods. He also reveals to the magician magic recipes and instruction on how, for instance, he can go under the influence of amalgamation of elements, change water into wine. Furthermore, how he can protect himself successfully against influence of alcohol contained in these beverages, so that even great quantities of alcohol will leave him sober. So this, it's not just a sense of alcohol that is in this definition of results of what you can expect. We can look in today's consciousness, the understanding of this intoxicating substructural mist that he has around him, his environment. So it kind of like sticks on everybody else. And that is just unique to that person. It also contributes to the rest of his chart in different ways. But I wanted to bring this up because I think that's kinds of tells that all of us there. So that is the power that he does have. He was born with that power. And to me, that is fascinating. And I thought I'd share that with you guys. We're also experiencing 29-degree Cancer. And this is a very serious degree of energy that right now, for the consciousness that we are determined to go to this completion. And a lot of this has to do with economics, okay? So, but it also has to do a lot with water. And we must pay attention because this degree at 29 degree in the ninth house in Sagittarius. Even though it is 29 Cancer in the ninth house with the subconscious identity of I see the goal, I reach the goal, and I move on. So something will occur in the next few days that's going to create instability. It's going to have it's going to cloud a lot of uncertainties. Even it's going to even erode more self-confidence. So especially with people on water rigs out there. Well, so we might expect a tsunami. I don't know but something will happen with water. So I thought I would bring this up. So talking about this energy that we're going through the seventh ray energy. Okay, with this Aries seventh ray energy today, when we're looking at it, it's very present and it's very earthly. And when we look at the consequences of, if you want to find out where I find this particular energy with Makara, you can go to makara.us and look at the rays, the tapestry of the gods from Michael Robbins. And he has beautiful compilations that talks about the effects of the seventh ray. Remember that we have 7 ray of energy that is in all of us, and it was there from the beginning of the moment that we were part of a grain of sand, in which we have evolved from sand to plant to animal to human, but it's an evolution of consciousness that we all possess. At this time, we're moving with the first ray, the will of power, very, very present. But first ray is not present, is not being born again on the planet at this moment. It's not present. What we have is this energy that we've been of continuance, this first ray energy that has continued through humanity, through all of these cycles of times, is now coming to a new cycle of time. We're moving into an electrical consciousness, an awareness that has been sponging, that has been absorbing by each and every one of us on the planet for the last 30 years that we've been online together, humanity getting used to the idea of all these mental connection. We've been preparing for the mental age. And this mental age is very much happening right now with Neptune moving into Aries, ending its 164 5 years life cycle. And this seventh ray is the other end of the spectrum. It's just the ray of ceremonial order. And it's bringing the light into Aries. So this is a transmission from the first ray, will and power, to the seventh ray, ceremonial order, and everything in between. It's a mutual reinforcement of the seventh ray. And there's a compilation of understanding. There are different humanities alive right now, people with a way of understanding things in a more sensitive way. And then there is a collective out there that has no idea whatsoever why they are sensing something. And I'm including me, number one. Like just today, for example, something happened. I kind of went to sleep early this morning. I don't know what happened, but I woke up and I was wondering, where the heck am I? And that has been happening. And it's not that I'm losing, that I'm, my mind or whatever, but it seems that many people are feeling this way. Okay, so this seventh ray energy has a pattern in it. For the lower, for the mass consciousness that does not have the identity into themselves at the time, they're just learning about the I am presence within themselves, and they have a choice. Astrology does work through you, and yes, you are made of sensation and rays and mentalities. So for the last 30 years, the humanity has been electrifying itself in a community of minds that we call the internet. And we have been practicing with each other, we've been communicating with each other, and we've been sharing all kinds of different ways. And I've been very fortunate because I've been aware of that, like many others out there. But I'm one that took it to a different extreme with myself, and I needed to know why such things are such way, that there is a beginning to everything. The end, none of us know, but the seventh ray as a pattern in this Aries new opportunity. After 100 and something 65 years of a pattern that the humanity had adopted, we're moving into a new sense of being. Okay, so uh, a long time ago, maybe 15 years ago, I came across, Michael Robbins, but in the last 10 years, I have been very close to studying Alice Bailey through this website called makara.us, makara.us. And I am a very good student, I believe, of this process. And I've been practicing for a long time. So when we're looking at a seventh way, this mass population out there, those bullies, those people that just insist that culture should never be part of life, uh, it sounds really silly in today's world, but there's some people out there that really believes that. The selfish human being, the self-centered or the self-serving human being is very much what the seventh way consciousness, with the first way consciousness, would be doing. Somebody that is not aware of themselves, okay? And the self-centered Aries person combined with the rigid regimentation includes, induce within the insufficiency spiritualized personality by the seventh way. So what kind of human beings are we confronted with? When the seventh way begins to accentivize, that is pushing into dismiss the identity of patterns that many of us are evolving out of. That many of us that are mind scientists, that are astrologers, tarot readers, channelers, thinkers, thought leaders, this is this moment that we are looking at these patterns, and all of these patterns have been electrified. By whom? By the human population that is here on the planet at this time. So many, we're part of a cosmos. And the earth itself is in a moment of shaking up things, waking up things. But it has prepared us for the last 30 years, where at least for the last 15 years, I know for myself, I've been around at least that long online, that we have participated with each other to learn from each other. And we've discussed all kinds of things, different groups, different mindsets, participating in routines, in meditation together. And we've created an algorithm. We're responsible for the algorithm out there. Because most of us groups have been on these computers, sharing our thought ideas and everything. So this is very important that we understand that we are the first generation of human on this planet to register this ecosystem. So we are responsible for what we're creating. And I want us to understand that many amazing leaders like Alice Bailey, Rudolf Steiner, historian of, Plato and everything that we listen to is part of us, okay? It has a nature within us. So it's important that you understand that this seventh way is the way of ceremonial order. As many there is out there that might be malevolent, devilish, satanic, awful, cruel, that is coming to an end. That is being revealed. We are in the fifth dimension. The fifth dimension is, we're entering the fifth dimension. We're going from the fourth to fifth, and we are entering a fifth dimension that we created. So this fifth dimension energy that we're taking on is the age of revelation. We're being revealed. What are we willing? We're being asked in these revelations, what are you willing to take with you? What are you willing to be eternal with? And what are you willing to do infinity as a companion in your nature with? So this is a moment that Aries, that seventh way Aries energy. And we got that is making us see this. So we're looking at a part of the population that is still getting in touch with more than understanding we're not just a body. We're moving into an age of mentality, an electrical mentality that we all began to adopt when we found ourselves going online. So that's just my opinion, and this is for entertainment only, but this is what I see. So let's go back, let's go on with what the seventh way brings. The seventh way brings forcing conformity and imposing patterns. That is for organization more important than individuality. That's what we've been living from. It's mind more important than nature. This is what it's bringing us to see and understand and ask ourselves. It's the Procrustean bed. It's lethal rigidity. It is straight line and hard angles. So there's also the introduction, very like imposing introduction of forceful regimentation, intolerant of individuality, grinding all in the iron meal of routine, forced and unnatural rhythms. The martinet, the drill sergeant, the boot camp, the marching band, the Nazi rallies, shot if one not, getting shot if one step is out of line, compulsive promptness, experience like clockwork, small and tight organizational procedures, which in your larger organism, this is what the leader in the United States is trying to enforce. Okay. And to me, I want us to understand that this has been predicted. This has been announced to all of us for a long time. That there would be a time that we would have some human being that would come along and make us see all of these things, not one at a time in an isolated way, but all of these things at the same time. So for me, it's important to point that out, that it is something that was expected. Therefore, that is something that we've been training for a long time, so that we can actually look at all the horrors and stupidities and ugliness that not being respectful of and honoring other cultures makes us so small. So this is part of what mass consciousness of people that have not done the work, that 30 years ago, when people started to get online, started to get together, we started to produce an animal called the internet. We fed that internet, and we gave it ideas, and we let it, become more than we are, which it's all of us at once. So this internet can be also programmed to do better for all of us. Tomorrow I'll talk about what it is, what it looks like to be an advanced human being in these circumstances. And there's many of us that are in that sphere of influence nowadays. There's more of us out there doing the work, learning to have a exercise of control over our thoughts and directing our intention on a daily basis. And the more of us that are learning to direct our intention on a daily basis when we begin our days, the better this world can become. I firmly believe that. So, so thank you for letting me rant about what I absolutely adore talking about, and because I think it's important. This work in the last 5 years, the deeper I get into it, the more beautiful life is for me. Uh, I can sense the world around, and it helps me calibrate. So to understand that we are the creator of our existence and that we don't have to give that control, and that we can start harnessing back all of these awful activities that is being used nowadays. Remember, this is the internet is becoming a teenager, and we have to manage it. We have to regulate it. We know what teenage human beings are can do, so we want to regulate it because there's a time, there's a cycle for everything. So this is thank you for letting me talk about this again. And my name is Andie, and if you like this kind of talk, come and meet and listen to me again. Like and subscribe. That's what they say. That's the hardest thing for me to say. Um, and I wish you a good evening. Thank you.